Boom.
99, man. That was a big year for movies.
Year.
There's quite a few bands around then already.
Yay!
Yeah.
We were just saying that Jack sounds so young in that, and then I'm like, oh yeah, well, this is off their first album.
Yeah, counting off the years, he was.
And then we were like, oh, that was 1999. Oh my god. And then we said, oh yeah, The Matrix and Fight Club came out that year.
Yeah. No, that was a famously huge year for, it's
Tons
basically
of
like
stuff.
the year that independent movies absolutely took over. So I don't think it's incidental that independent music, like, immediately made a comeback after that kind of...
So, I used to go over to my friend's house. This was while I had just started going to a bigger college, Eastern Michigan University, and I would go over to my buddy's house, who lived fairly close to campus. I never did like dorms or anything like that. But she would go, come on over, and I was living with two other friends of mine, but I typically ended up spending like days at my buddy's house. She had her own apartment, and we would just hang out all weekend, smoking Parliaments, and we would burn CDs like all weekend. And she liked to make themed CDs. So like, this one's all about vaginas. This one's all about sugar. This one's all about dinner. This one's all about, whatever, like all songs in that theme. So this song was on the sugar playlist, CD that we burned. If any of y'all out there remember burning CDs. So, and I don't think I realized it was White Stripes for a while, because I was so used to, at that point, this was like 2002, 2003. Oh my gosh. It had to have been after that. It had to be more like 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
Because I didn't start going to Eastern until the fall of 2005. So it had to have been in that time period. Oh my gosh. And I didn't know it was like, because I was so used to the sound that they had, because they had put out two or three other albums.
Drums,
right, exactly. I thought guitar, drums, Jack. And this is very different from that. So I was like, that's funny, because this band, whoever this is, kind of sounds like White Stripes.
I don't even know what the percussion is. It might just be like hitting a suitcase. It's very minimal.
It sounded like maybe a bongo and a tambourine. Maybe. Okay, Fergal. Okay, so I'm sitting on a bed, and my younger cat is worming around underneath the blankets.
He won't come on top to get our attention.
Okay.
Curl down like a... what's that movie called? The Graboids in...
Yes, in Tremors.
In Tremors. That's what he's like right now.
He is like a graboid, except he's fuzzy and warm. He's laying his body on me under the blankets. Okay. Anyway, so that's why I picked that song, because it carries fond memories, and I feel a little sheepish that I didn't realize that they had albums out before the album that made them big. Yeah. And it took me a while to be like, oh.
in fairness, like, they were the exception. A lot of bands, rightly or wrongly, like, kind of made it big in around 2002 or so with their first album, because the White Stripes had laid that ground. But they were really like kind of the godfathers of a lot of that garage rock revival, because they already had 2 albums out.
Yeah, I had no idea that they had 2 albums out when Red Blood Cells came out. I had no idea. And
if they didn't, there's no connections in the world that would have made the Strokes popular, as much as I like them.
Also, this song, it was a toss-up between this song that's on their first album or a song that's on their second album, which is, I think it's on their second album, which is You're Pretty Good Looking for a Girl.
Yeah.
Which makes me laugh and makes me so happy all the time.
That was one of the first songs I heard of theirs, too.
Yeah, it was a toss. I was like, okay, I gotta pick, like, before mainstream White Stripes, I have to pick something to represent that. Yeah. And it was a toss-up, but it had to be this one.
I believe, and someone that knows more about their history could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe You're Pretty Good Looking for a Girl was actually their, like, biggest hit.
It's awesome.
Until the White Blood Cells came out and kind of broke them with all those new songs.
Is it White Blood Cells? I think you're right, son of a... I like this band. I promise. I like this
It was
band.
all 20 years ago. It gets fuzzy.
Oh, I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
Every
What's the
time
matter with me?
I say anything about like my favorite band or like I know so much about this band, like immediately someone's
It's like, oh, yeah?
what were they doing in 1999?
Well,
I don't
actually,
know.
yeah. Well, actually, you don't know what you're talking about.
The actually, music nerds are the worst.
There's actually book nerds. There's actually history nerds.
It'd have to be.
There's fedora wearing actually other nerd. Like they're everywhere. They're the hand raisers.
Yep.
You know, when you're in class and you're like, oh, just let me get through this class, and they have to ask questions over. Just put your hand down. This class isn't about you. Okay.
Yep.
Let's
Stop being right and let's have a little fun.
Well, actually, we know. We know, dude. Come on. Oh my god. Anyway.
All right.
Let us. What are you laughing at me for?
No, let us.
Let us move forward. What do you got?
Lettuce salad.
Lettuce
This is No Wow by The Kills. I love you, baby.